here because of my mom.
Me too.
Mama, please don't ask him a million questions.
Oh, come on now. Give me some credit.
Hey, hi.
Does anyone call you Danny?
Not
Where
really.
are your parents
no.
from?
You don't have to answer. She's always been quirky.
I can't help it. I'm inquisitive.
Maybe a little neurotic.
It's loaded with saturated fats that clog your arteries.
Oh.
Bet nothing like this.
What are you doing?
Shh, shh, shh. The neighbor threw a rock at me. What? Yeah. I was doing laundry. I heard a bang.
Aren't you scared that he's gonna murder you in his sleep and bury you in his yard?
Oh my God.
Well, I wasn't until now.
She thinks our neighbor's stalking her, climbing on our roof. Every little noise she believes is an attack.
She's paying me to follow him.
How do I convince my mom that it's all in her head?
That's gonna be hard.
She's off the edge.
I'm not gonna sit back and do nothing.
Do you have any idea what I'm going through? Did it even occur to you that I just got fired from my job?
Natalie, is it Inon? Am I saying that right?
Inon, yeah, Inon and Natalie. It's a tricky Hebrew.
It's Inon.
No, yeah, it took me 2 weeks to learn.
I've been looking it up online, how to pronounce it. Inon. Oh, I love it.
Oh, yeah.
Well, Natalie, Inon, thank you for joining me today for Paper Spiders. What an intriguing film. I enjoyed it immensely. And Natalie, Paper Spiders is based on a true story and events in your own life. And this is a coming of age story that in the shadow of mental illness. And I don't think that's been done before, has it?
Yeah, I hadn't seen anything like it before, and part of the what we hope is that like people will learn something from it and take away that it doesn't have to be secretive and it doesn't have to be shameful. And we were actually we didn't share this, that it was based on or inspired at least by a true story. We hadn't shared that when we were going through it, when we were writing it. We didn't share it. When even when it was filming, only then people would like come up to us because I guess it was kind of obvious, and they'd be like, "This happened to you, right?" Or "This is based on truth." And we reluctantly started sharing it, but then coming to realize that so many people know somebody who's going through any kind of mental illness, addiction, or anything, and they relate to that aspect of trying to save somebody or help them. And we kind of realized that it's really important to open up about this honestly, and I think that that's really the only way that people can get help.
Absolutely. And it's all about awareness. It's about bringing it out into the light. And, Lily Taylor delivers a remarkable performance, and Stefina Owen, their chemistry is just outstanding. When did you realize that they were clicking? It was just like, because that's a lot of the movie.
Couldn't plan that.
There's really no credit to us, only to them. When you cast great actors that they're going to be great, but you really don't know what kind of a chemistry they're going to have with a partner. I mean, especially, when you're doing romantic movies or any kind of a relationship movie. And this is definitely a relationship movie with mother and daughter. And we're very lucky that they created such a beautiful relationship off screen and on screen. From the first moment they met, they just clicked and hit it off.
Like a real mom would off screen, she was like the daughter and she was like the mom, and they so like meshed well together and related.
Yeah. So the intimacy on screen is real, and it's we're so lucky. Both of them were wonderful to work with, and just give such fantastic performances. But it's true, if the chemistry wasn't there and the mother-daughter relationship didn't feel real, it wouldn't quite resonate. And very luckily for us, it did.
And was it important to infuse humor in such a heavy subject matter?
Yes. Well, first of all, it's hard. Writes, Inon's more serious as a person, and I'm more comedic, and so usually we meet in the middle somewhere, but especially for this story because it is dark and we didn't want something really gritty and dark because much like life, it's filled with different kinds of emotions, experiences, and so I think that the comedy was important for us to sprinkle it.
Yeah, and find the right balance between comedy and drama, and create a gradual shift from comedy to drama, because we felt like at the beginning of the story, Stefania's character Melanie is going through high school coming of age story that naturally lends itself to a dramedy. She doesn't really have any serious problems in her life yet, and she doesn't expect her life to shift, just like the tone of the movie shifts from lighter, dramedy to heavy drama. So we felt like there was actually some truth to it, because we don't live in a genre. It's and some of the transformation that she goes through also comes together with a shift in tone.
Well, with different perspectives, creatively, and each of you have a part in this movie, but husband and wife. So tell me about your working relationship.
It's awful. No,
It's
it
a lot
really
of fun.
helps actually.
Yeah.
I mean, I feel like writing, you're so in your head, and you really need to bounce ideas off of somebody, and somebody who kind of knows what they're doing. But it's super helpful, and the fact that we get along is
And we can run
beneficial.
ideas by each other. Well, whatever we do in life, whether we have 3 kids, whether we're changing diapers or or playing with the kids, we're always brainstorming ideas, and that we're constantly have our thinking caps on, and absolutely being able to bounce ideas off of each other. And also, and like Natalie said, I mean, brainstorming the stories is probably, I don't know, 80% of the work, much more than the writing. And then very often the biggest challenge with projects when we start developing projects is asking ourselves, okay, but what is the movie really about? We have a general idea of what the plot is, but what is it really about? And in some movies, the answer is not so simple. But with this movie, we knew from the get-go, so there was no question about the DNA of the story. And when you really know what kind of a story you want to tell, it's much easier to have a sense of which scenes, work with that narrative and which scenes just don't belong there.
All right. And, I think the public perception of mental illness is changing, or at least it's trying to, because there's always a sense of shame attached to that condition because people consider it a personal problem versus a medical problem. So I think movies like yours really show that people can finally relate to it, because I know I do, because I had to grow up with a mom. I had to take care of her with Alzheimer's. And I saw so much what was going on in your movie with my mom, with the paranoia, with the anger, with the, saying things that didn't make any sense, and it just, you just feel helpless because as you watch this, it just gets worse and the condition worsens.
Yes.
I'm sorry to hear. We also, I mean, we haven't had grandparents with Alzheimer's, much more difficult with a mother. Similar in the sense that it's very hard to feel like you're losing someone, even if they're still physically here. You feel like mentally you're losing them, and that is very, very tragic. And May is also Mental Health Awareness Month, which is part of why we chose to release the movie in May, not just for Mother's Day weekend, also for Mental Health Awareness Month. We're very lucky to have the support of NAMI, the National Alliance of Mental Illness. And we really, really hope that that's also part of why we're opening up about the origin of the story. We really hope that if we can contribute even a little bit to public or even private conversations about the need to support people with mental health and the understanding, which is maybe the most important thing to us, that line in the movie where, people don't choose mental illness any more than they choose cancer or diabetes. And it's very easy to become frustrated with people who are going through it because they're very often very difficult to deal with, but they didn't choose this. And I think, and if we can grow in empathy, not just as individuals, but also as a society, I think that people who are going through it, or people who are trying to support family members or loved ones who are going through it, will have more resources and will be able to talk about it more openly.
I remember going through college and university. I took a lot of psychology classes, and they had psychology in film. So I can see your film in future classes being taught this subject and about mental illness, because people can relate through television and film, and it really helps with the message. So
thank you. Natalie is also a mental health professional herself. She's a marriage and family therapist. So a lot of the insights that she put in the movie come from truth and from a real understanding of the condition and the psychology behind it. But we really, really hope beyond creating entertainment in a movie that will, hopefully engage and entertain audiences, will also make them think and think about the mental health and the need to support people who are going through it. So thank you.
Well, thank you for joining me today. Good luck with the film, and we'll talk again soon.
Thank you so much.